Bienvenido a nuestra cocina. Me llamo Lukas Hooper.
Me llamo Adam Casey.
And this is our cultural learning experience from Spain.
You want to tell them what we're doing today?
So, today we're going to start with a Spanish omelet, or as they say in Spain,
Tortilla Española.
To begin, we've prepared some potatoes and some onions. We've sliced the potatoes, kind of thin slices, and diced up some onions. So to begin with, we're going to add the onions, or the potatoes and the onions into some olive oil and kind of get them cooked, like a fry type cook. And then we'll add in the eggs after we're done with this. So let's begin.
Go ahead and throw some of those in there. Teamwork makes the dream work. Throw some in at the same time. Hey, don't burn yourself. I'll grab a spatula real quick. There you go. Alright, so now we got these cooking and frying a little bit. We're going to take a break, let them cook, and we'll come back and finish this omelet up.
Hello and welcome back. As you can see here, we've fried our potatoes and our onions, and we've prepared some eggs in a bowl. We have our skillet here with a little olive oil in it ready, and so now we're going to begin making the omelet. We'll start by pouring in a little egg.
Oh, that looks delicious.
This isn't working out the way I planned, but I think we can still salvage it. Add some of our mix on top here. It's still really hot. Trying to figure out the best way to go. Guess we'll kind of try to get up under it. As you can tell, I'm not the greatest omelet maker, but I've seen worse, I think. So we'll let this cook a little bit, flip it over, and we'll have ourselves an omelet.
Alright, while Luke's busy making our tasty omelets, I want to go ahead and prepare our main entree for the night. It's called spicy Spanish albandijas, which is actually just a meatball. And so what we have here, we have half a pound of ground chuck and half a pound of sausage, half a cup of breadcrumbs, 2 tablespoons of garlic, 1 beat egg prepared in our fancy PBR glass. I can tell you that for sure now at our parents' house, haven't used this for an egg. Then we're going to put 1 tablespoon of hot sauce for the flavor. So what you do, just put all these ingredients in with the meat that's already mixed together. Put the garlic and the breadcrumbs, egg, and a little flavor. That's a spicy meatball. Alright, so I'm going to mix these up, but while I'm doing this and before we go and fry them, let's take a break to learn a couple of Spanish key survival phrases.
While we were waiting on these items to cook, let's take a moment to review some key survival phrases that you might need in the business world while you're in Spain. To begin, let's say hello would be hola, goodbye, adios. How are you would be como estás. Good morning would be buenos dias. Say you get stuck in a situation, you use the restroom. ¿Dónde está el baño? Talking about money and your business exchanges. Currency would be moneda. Another thing might you need to say, I have an appointment. Be tengo un cita. Advertising campaign would be campaña publicitaria, or maybe I will give you a discount. So, hago un rabata. So these are some key phrases that might help you navigate around Spain on a business trip. Here are our meatballs that Adam has prepared for us. We are going to now fry them in some olive oil, which we conveniently been able to save from our last endeavor, frying the potatoes. A little bit of sustainability here. But yeah, we're going to deep fry these. And once we get them, let them cook, then we're going to move on to our dessert. So let's get started. There we are. We'll let these finish up and move on to our dessert.
We're going to make a delicious dessert now. What we're cooking today is actually called Mexican wedding cakes. Now, even though it's called Mexican wedding cakes, it's actually of Spanish descent. So don't get confused and think we're doing Mexico. We're doing Spain. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to have my lovely assistant, Lucas, again, start mixing the things we need to do. So I'll let him take over at this point.
First, we're going to start with the powdered sugar, butter, if we can get it to roll out, and some vanilla extract. And mix all this up together.
Alright, we'll let him stir that up real quick and we'll be right back.
Now that I've gotten my workout for the day and mixed together the first part of our recipe, our lovely assistant Adam here is going to mix up our second part.
Absolutely. We're simply just going to put 3 cups of flour together and put in some salt for flavor. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. It's a lot of flour. Lots of it. I poured the salt out. Well, it's 1/4 tablespoon, so we'll do that. And then when I spill on the counter, I'll just compensate for it. Just pour some more in there. I don't think it really needs to be that exact. Do it the other way, actually. Technical difficulties. Made it a little too more. It'll be tasty. Should mix this together. And once we get this pretty well mixed, it's really just putting the salt in there, so it doesn't take too long. We're going to put it together. Get that back in there. Put it together with our first mixture. Give it that real good flavor. So go ahead and pour this in here. We'll go ahead and use our whisk to put that all together. This recipe called for a whole stick of butter. It's very thick, so you know it'll be real good and tasty. Good for you? I don't know. Doubtful, but what is? Real thick. Once we get this all mixed together, we're going to put in the pecans, and that's where it gets its taste. These are actually, what this is just, it's a ball of dough. That's really all it is. And you have a pecan in the middle. We're going to put it in the oven here in a minute. And I think it'll be really tasty. Alright, while we were waiting again, we realized there should be called, there's a little mixed language that said 1.5 cup of butter. That actually means 3 sticks of butter. So this is going to be real American, healthy, but Spanish, like Pauline, like this is going to be really, really, really healthy. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put in the pecans. That's going to be on the back of the inside. And while we put the pecans in there, we're going to mix them in to the dough that we have. The really buttery dough for sure. So while I'm pouring those in, I'm going to go ahead and mix. It's a 1/2 cup of pecans, just regular roasted pecan halves. So while we do that, mix these in here really good. So hopefully, what we're aiming to get is like 1 pecan per ball. So get these mixed up really well. Now we're going to go ahead and put them in the balls.
And now that we've rolled our dough into roughly 1-inch balls, we're going to go ahead and put those in the oven for 15 minutes at 400 degrees to bake. All right, so we're going to have our lovely assistants here, Allison and Michael, try out our food now. Our Spanish omelets, spicy meatballs, and Mexican wedding cake. How do y'all like the omelets?
Moment of truth right here.
Allison's not used to these fancy things called forks.
How's the omelet?
It's good.
Meatballs? I think those are my favorites so far.
Spicy.
And how about the dessert?
Can't wait. Wait a minute. The powdered sugar's good.
A little too much powdered sugar,
A
maybe?
little bit maybe, but it's good.
It's good.
I think we may have made a few mistakes on the Mexican wedding cakes, but at least they turned out the right shape and look, so taste is only a small factor, right? That's our CLE, and that concludes our project. I hope you have enjoyed.